Hello, Assalamu alaikum. I'm Bitun. I work at BRAC as the communication focal person for Disaster Management and Climate Change Program.
Assalamu alaikum and very good morning. I am Brigadier General Ali Ahmed Khan. I am Director General Fire Service Civil Defense. Basically, we carry out the rescue operation and sort of any emergency service. And very great pleasure attending this, I think, very important seminar where I found a lot of young leaderships, though really there's disaster experts, the development partners, and I find there the young leaderships who thinks about the disaster in the region is a very good opportunity for me. I have come with the uniform, and as usual that many one doesn't want to interact with the uniform personals, but I can tell that this is the uniform of the people's uniform, because I work with the people actually, at the people's force, carry out all the rescue operation. So we'll have a good, we can share good ideas and the best practices where really we can work to face a disaster also globally. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum and good morning, everybody. Thank you for having me here today. My name is Sadaf Saaz Siddiqui. I'm chairman of SAFE, Safety Assistance for Emergencies, which is a small non-profit trust, worked in the aftermath of Rana Plaza for a year afterwards. And we are still continuing to do so. I've also been in the ready-made garment sector for well over 2 decades. And I'm also a member of Nari Bokko Women's Activist Organization.
থ্যাংক ইউ আমরা খুবই আনন্দিত এবং খুব সম্মানিত বোধ করছি যে আমাদের সাথে আমাদের বড় আপা আছেন আজকে নাজমা আপা, এবং উনাকে উদ্ধার করা হয়েছিল প্রায় 17 ঘন্টা পরে। আমরা ওনার মুখ থেকে অনেক কথা শুনবো। আমি খুব গর্ববোধ করছি যে আজকে তাকে আমাদের সুযোগ হয়েছে আপনাদের সাথে পরিচয় করিয়ে দেওয়ার জন্য। নাজমা আপার কথা আমরা বেশি করে শুনবো এবং সেই জন্য আমরা মাঝে মাঝে বাংলা বলবো এবং আমরা ইংরেজিতে ফেরত আসবো। আপনারা প্রশ্নও তাকে বাংলায় করতে পারেন, কোনো অসুবিধা হবে না। তবে যাদের কারণে নাজমা আপাকে আজকে আমরা পেয়েছি, আমরা সেই সব ভলেন্টিয়ারদেরও স্মরণ করছি। দীপু ভাই আপনার পরিচয় দিবেন, তারপর আমি নাজমা আপার কাছে আসবো।
আসসালামু আলাইকুম, আমার নাম আমিনুল কাউসার দীপু। আমি দেখতেই পাচ্ছেন যে স্কাউটস ইউনিফর্ম পরে এসেছি। কোলাপসের 2.5 ঘন্টা পরে আমরা সেখানে হাজির হই এবং শেষ দিন পর্যন্ত সেখানে কাজ করেছি, ওয়ার্ক টুগেদার উইথ ফায়ার সার্ভিস, আর্ম ফোর্সেস অ্যান্ড আদার স্টেক হোল্ডার্স অলসো। আমি বিশেষভাবে বলতে চাচ্ছি যে অত্যন্ত ধন্যবাদ ব্র্যাককে। আফটার 3 years, this is the first official lesson learned on Rana Plaza. Thank you.
আপনি কিছু বলবেন?
আসসালামু আলাইকুম, আমার নাম মোসাম্মদ নাজমা বেগম। আমার দেশের বাড়ি গাইবান্ধা, এখানে সাভারেই থাকি। রানা প্লাজার অ্যাক্সিডেন্টের পর থেকে আমরা সাভারেই আছি। আমার 2 মেয়ে, বড় মেয়ে ইন্টার পরীক্ষার্থী, ছোট মেয়ে ক্লাস 7। আমি ছোটোখাটো একটা দোকান রানা প্লাজার উপলক্ষে ব্র্যাক থেকে পেয়েছি। দোকানের পাশে আমি ছোটোখাটো একটা টেইলারের দোকানও আমি নিজের তরফ থেকে দিয়ে দিছি, যাতে আমার সংসার এবং পরিবার টিকে রাখতে পারি। তারপরেও ব্র্যাক থেকে আমার অন্য দিক দিয়ে সাপোর্ট দিয়েছে, একটা মোটা অঙ্কের টাকাও পেয়েছি সেখান থেকে আমি প্রতি মাসে মোবাইল, আগে অফিসের মাধ্যমে পাইছিলাম, কিন্তু অফিসে যাইতে তো আমার একটু সমস্যাও ছিল, কিন্তু এখন সুযোগ সুবিধা আমি ভালোই পেয়েছি। মোবাইল বিকাশে এখন ওই টাকাটা আমরা পাই, ইন্টারেস্ট যেটা আসে।
থ্যাংক ইউ আপা, ধন্যবাদ অনেক। আমরা আবার আপনার কাছে আসবো। তো যারা এখানে অনেকে হয়তো আছেন যারা আসলে those who not really know the incident what happened on that day, আজ থেকে প্রায় 3 বছর আগে 2013 সালে 2013 24 তারিখে 24 এপ্রিল, আর কয়েক দিন পরে আমাদের 24 তারিখ হবে এপ্রিলের, and we are going to commemorate that days also. Sometimes we call these people as a Rana Plaza victim. I'm not really feel very good about these things. They are the বিজয় আমি বলবো, তারা রানা প্লাজারে ভিকটিম না, they are the survivors. আমরা যেমন যুদ্ধে গেলে যারা ফেরত আসে তাদেরকে যেমন গাজী বলি, it was really a war. And আমাদের অনেক দিন সময় লেগেছিল to really get out of these derbies. এখান থেকে চলে আসতে আমরা মে মাসের আমার মনে হয় 13 তারিখে আমরা অফিসিয়ালি ঘোষণা করি যে the rescue operation is over, but the real rescue operation is started after that, and it is still continuing. In the first session, somebody was talking about how long the relief operation should go, but this type of urban hazards, it's not day, it's not week, it's not year, it's a lifetime things. And every day we are learning. The trauma or mental distress which was there is not over. Every day when we meet with these people, in every month when we have formal meetings, the trainings, the people who are organizing those things, they also go to a very disturbing distress situation, and it is continuing. So it's not over. A project cannot really help to really give the answer to these questions, that how far we should go, and still there are people who are missing. We don't know how many. And only recognized number of dead bodies is those are certified dead bodies is 1,129. And injured person, those who are still struggling, their number is about 2,500. And there are others also. It's not only the people who are working there. In the first floor, first 2 floors, there are banks, including BRAC Bank. There are shops, and the upper floor are garments factories. There are people who are working there. There are people who are at that time in the shopping. There are people who went there to rescue these people. They are all become the victim at that time of that incident. So anyway, we have learned a lot, because this session is really looking forward to really recorded the learnings, what we have learning and how far we should go. So I would like to give the floor first to Appa, who was working there to support the people who are injured, and and also the families who need support at that time. They still need support at that even now. And in a way that in the first session, you also understand whenever we are doing something, it's not really focusing on the people who are really need attention, especially women. And there are their families where there are a lot of children. So I'd like to know from her that what lessons we have learned and how we will do differently next time, especially to make our emergency response a bit women sensitive.
Thank you. SAFE had been involved with disaster relief and management, natural disaster relief and management, as well as earthquake response since 2001. When Rana Plaza fell down, we didn't really know if we had a role there, a small local NGO. But when we went there, we found that actually in a disaster like this, the first people that are on the scene are the local, were actually the local ad hoc rescue workers that went into the building. And there we found for the next 19 days that there was a huge area where support was needed. And I think one of the things that came out when we assessed this later was that for a natural disaster, Bangladesh has a lot of, it's got a protocol in place. But for a man-made disaster like this, all of the government and the international agencies and the local NGOs did not have a coordinated protocol in place. So for example, getting a generator to get light, getting an electric line to get the light, 2 ad hoc rescue workers that had gone into the building, was basically done on a very sort of need basis, where we contacted the local government through a personal contact. We got a generator. We raised money from the community to pay for fuel for the generator. We got water and other support items to give to workers, to local people who were going inside. As you know, I think 2,438 people were actually pulled out of the building over the few days after the building fell down. And in normal circumstances, I mean, you probably know better than me, that for a responder or a safety worker, the number one thing is to keep yourself safe. So had we actually followed proper international protocol, nobody would have probably gone into that building. And each and every one of those rescues was a long, arduous job. It was 10, 15 hours of pulling somebody out of 15-inch, narrow chambers where the building could fall down, and there were a few, shake-ups where the building nearly did fall down. And yet we had actually thought there was been no role for us, because it was that kind of search and rescue really does need sort of technical and very skilled type of approach, where you would probably have heat sensors and the government coming in a big way. So I think we have to kind of, and I really don't think that anything is in place now if we had another Rana Plaza, or we're in the earthquake belt now if we had another 15, 20 Rana Plazas. Literally the whole country was kind of behind that one disaster that happened. So we worked with the rescue workers, and so one of the things that has come out of that obviously is the need for local first responders, teams of community responders all over urban areas. There has been programs with the government, there have been programs with individual NGOs, but I don't think a concerted effort is in place now. I mean, our team worked with the rescuers who'd actually gone into the building, who were untrained, and we actually worked with them over several training. I think there were about 200 rescue workers that had gone into the building. We did several bouts of training with them and actually got a team of 12 rescue workers who'd come out of that whole process and passed the training of trainers, search and rescue and first aid course. So there's a small group of much more well-trained rescue workers that came out of that. But obviously, for an urban disaster, we'd need a whole lot more, all in every single community. With regards to women, when the rescue workers went into the building, many of the women were naked because of the heat and the conditions that they were in. Luckily, the group that went in were extremely sensitive, but and there was one of the people we worked with was a woman rescue worker. So in first responder teams, they have to be men and women trained in different ways. Even removing, the survivors from the building also needs to be done in a very careful way as well, because later on a lot of the injuries were exacerbated because of the way the removal happened. But of course, they actually survived the disaster because of, the intervention of all of these brave souls. The other thing that I would say is that, how the media deals with it and sensitivity of whose photographs are taken, how the survivors were then, there was a barrage of media focus on perhaps not the right things, and a lot of, I am sure you all know, a lot of funds came in, and yet I think there's still not a proper accountability of the huge amount of funds that did come in a quite an uncoordinated way, and I still don't think there's a proper tally of what happened to all of the funds and where it was used. The other thing that was mentioned, I think, in the previous session was a very important thing, is prevention. So why did Rana Plaza fall down? And you know, there's a huge range of, a laundry list of reasons, illegal landfill, the building, you know, was many more floors than the approval. There was generators on every floor that created the perfect storm. When there were cracks, which were obviously dangerous cracks in the pillars the day before, the government agencies, nor the Garments Association, nor the engineer that went closed the building down unequivocally. And the result of that has not really been acted on, in the sense that the Bangladesh National Building Code, which is now part of the law, is violated. I think probably 98% or some ridiculous number of buildings in Dhaka don't follow the Bangladesh National Building Code, which is actually very good if it's followed. And you know, we can see that when we experienced, I think, the earthquake in the last year, that we also don't have the drills and the response in place either. We don't know what to do when there is an earthquake happening. Do we go down? Do we evacuate the building? Do we stay where we are? Do we have reinforced beams where we can all stand under? And I think, so we really have to open our eyes up about, you know, what to have in place. One final thing I just want to mention, because I know that everybody else has a lot of things to say, is in the garments industry itself, I think there's been a huge paradigm shift. There's been capacity building in world-class engineers coming in. I think our Buet and our other engineers are very good, but literally the global standard of what buildings should be for fire safety, for earthquake resistance, has really been pushed to the next level. So I think in the RMG industry itself, there's been a lot of changes which often the media doesn't focus on, and that's been a huge challenge for the industry. There's a lot of issues that's a whole different topic, a whole different probably session would be needed to cover those. But I do see a paradigm shift in the RMG industry, and I don't see a paradigm shift in Rajuk or the way buildings are being monitored or built. So I think that's another huge area that needs to be looked into.
Thank you, Appa. Paradigm shift is always happen after a lot of people died. Like in the humanitarian sector, there is a paradigm shift after the African crisis on Rwanda genocide. That's helped us to shift our paradigm, and now this child protection policy, women protection policies are coming out. Because Ranas are always very powerful. In Nepal, if you call somebody in the next day of this incident, I was talking about on phone to some of my friends in Nepal, that Rana Plaza, he was asking which Rana, because Rana are the part of the power struggle in Nepal for time immemorial. In Rajasthan, these Ranas are really, they are the warriors. They are very powerful. But this stupid Rana in our country, they are not belongs either Rajasthan nor to the Rana family of Nepal. They are the Masud Rana series families. So there is a story about somebody who can do anything. So we really, when we become parents, we put the name to our sons and daughters as Rana. So dreaming something happened. So all this stupid has come out with the name of the Rana, but they are very powerful people. They don't bother for building code, as Appa was telling. They don't bother for which land they are grabbing, who is the owner. But I'd like to go now to our Brigadier General Ali Ahmad Khan. You have seen him in the dress, but when we look at him, we look as a human being. Under his dress, there is a very powerful human being who can really make the things. And from the day one, we have found him over there, and now he is in a very right place. He's a DG of Fire Brigade now. And he's a graduate from Buet, civil engineer by profession. Then he did his MBA. He's also PhD. So professionally, he's very sound, but with a real human heart. So we would like to hear from him about what are the lessons we have learned as an institution, and what better we are now equipped to do to face such disaster. Because Ranas will be there, and Rana Plaza will be there, and there will be more destruction in future. we never know.
Thanks, Naim bhai. You have talked a lot, I think. But first of all, thanks to the organizer who has invited me to share some of the very good experience with a lot of experts. I found that also in the various countries, also development partners, and all the good NGOs, the leadership. So it's a good forum for me. I share some of the experience with them, and then we can have a best practices which will be good for Bangladesh also, as well as to rescue operation. As you know, that Bangladesh is I think, disaster-prone country, both natural or man-made. But in case of natural disaster like flood, cyclone, tidal surge, we have managing disaster, we have progressed quite well. We have a standard SOP, and this is also a role model. But in case of urban disasters, like earthquake, still is unknown to us, because we don't also believe it, what will be the consequences. As Dhaka is the second, I think, vulnerable, Dhaka city particularly is a vulnerable city in the world, because of the issue of the unplanned urbanizations and unregulated building constructions, unplanned industrializations, and you say that the narrow roads and traffics, no water sources around, and unprotected electric and gases lying around, and also sewer system. All the places you find, these are all things are making ourselves, these urban disasters more complicated. So I think it's a good that Rana Plaza disaster has gave I think some it's eye-opener for us. If big disaster happens like that, are we prepared enough? So only preparedness at various level can reduce the risks. So we can throw question to us as a personal, as an organization, at the government, as policy level, or the business entrepreneurs, social workers, as a whole institutions, are we prepared enough to this sort of big disaster really happens? So I think government after the Rana Plaza has been a lot of improvement has taken place. I think I share some of them because as a rescuers, I'm working on the field. I'm not academician, but certainly this is going to help you a lot, I think. Yeah. Those who are carrying out some research on this sort of line, I think. Yeah. As you find that big disaster happens, we need to have emergency operation centers. Still, in a big disaster happen, we don't have this of EOC. The government has recently given approval to develop a national EOCs where all forces represented will be there. Basically, in case of big disaster happens, actually, though I'm talking that we are urban disaster, we are main search and rescue operation, we are level 1. But in big disaster happens, the armed forces get involved. And then here, so in case of EOC, it didn't have existing, but government recently has given approval to establish EOCs, and also that establishing an incident command systems, because if big disaster happens, a lot of stakeholders will be coming to carry out this rescue operation before, and it will continue for, I think, maybe 2 weeks, more than that. So this sort of coordination there will be very much helpful after establishing EOCs. Again, you see that one of the major important things that in case of urban disaster, local capacity is very important, I think. So government is also trying to focus on this, developing volunteers. So we have developed, and UNDP also supported us, 30,000 urban volunteers. But government is planned to about 60,000. So we have developed another projects. We have given to the disaster ministry to develop another project, so urban volunteers. These sort of volunteers are very invaluable forces. And they are with the volunteers and the local NGOs, they are the first respond, carry out this sort of rescue operation. As you found recently, I think USAID has given, or we work with the USAID, CARE, Action Bangladesh, and also the NARI, and we have developed a lot of volunteers around Dhaka cities, not all the places, Dhaka, Chittagong, Sylhet, and we have a small handheld equipments. We have made all the places resource decentralized, and we maintain the database of volunteers. We carry out this sort of operation or carry out the training, but it's not enough, I think, here. Awareness build-up is very, very important. We establish, I think, after that, in school, colleges, and hospitals, how to carry out this sort of evacuation drills, urban disaster. We have, after that, improved, I think, massive intensified this sort of training activities in all the places. If any organization, if they ask our support, immediately we give a priority, and we just provide them this sort of training facilities. And simulation, this sort of exercise is very much important because we don't know this thing actually happen. A lot of stakeholders has to work. The Ministry of Health, Ministry of Disasters, Armed Forces Divisions, and with all the stakeholders have to work. This sort of exercise, because in cities areas, city corporation plays a very important role. So normally with the DRE exercise, we carry out this sort of operation, but still, I think this areas, gap areas is there. We have to intensify this sort of drill operation more so that we know each others in the room also, or also in the field level. We have a good SOPs, but still on the books, it has to be really practiced, the SOP on the field level. That is very, very important here. Again, because if this big disaster really happens, so international assistance will be very much required here. So are we prepared enough to receive international assistance? And if they really come, how will we really coordinate? Because Nepal is not far away. If you consider Nepal is just part of our countries here, and then you take the lesson from them. And all the agencies should take this lesson and start, I think, we have some countermeasures, how to really overcome this sort of difficulties here. So are we prepared for international assistance? We got to coordination through OSOC and other things with the DRE exercise is also incorporated. And disaster management ministry is also coordinating the whole operation here. And in urban areas, because you see that all are unplanned with, and there should be open space. There should be places for making shelter, because if the big shaking takes place here, how will help this? A lot of people will be, because there may be secondary collapse also, or secondary shaking. So all people will be very afraid. So you must have an open place around making shelters over there. So government disaster ministry has also procured more around 1,000 tents, and they have decentralized in all the places in the warehouses. So this is for information. So also the mobile hospitals, mobile toilets or saving toilets in parking areas. This is very important because we have sent a team from Nepal and we got this sort of lesson from them. So this is very, very important for us here. Again, you find that I told this since you find that recently there's a number of gas leakages and disasters happening. And this sort of is our networking of the gases in both the naturals, although, and this sort of Titas gas line pipeline is very dangerous because all gases like electric lines, they are unprotected. And during the big disaster, this will be big hazard. There will be a lot of inferno around the places. So firefighting will be another big challenges. People will already under the rubble. At the same time, some people will die by, I think they will burning themselves. And all suffocation because of the hazards, all the materials around, the toxic materials will be burned and they will be inhaled and they will be, I think, much more affected. So this is a great problem. So all these sort of gas electric lines to be immediately protected by auto shutdown system or any other mechanism. Disaster Ministry also has informed this to our Ministry of Power to take care of this. Possibly, I heard that, I'm not sure that they have also taken a project this sort of to reduce this sort of hazards. As you know that Rajuk is also trying. I'm not trying to blame because Rajuk is trying to build up his capacities. Also, nowadays the weak structures or those structures has to be identified, and this has to be evacuated because in a big disaster, people may under trap or this sort of the buildings or those weak structures really has to be broken down, and we have to set an example, I think. So they have, yesterday I met with the Rajuk chairman. He has told that they have taken up projects and immediately they will start breaking up some of the structures. I bet I take few more time over there. As you know that contingency plan is very, very important. Really big disaster really take place. If we have sound contingency plan, big disaster, how the government organization really work, NGO really be working over there, and other stakeholders really working. Each and everyone have a contingency plan, national level plan. Then this plan has to be strategic plan and has to be operational level. What is the plan? And this plan is still lacking, I think. Disaster Ministry has also developed a plan, and we have also given our own plan there. and it has to be also integrated with the other agencies also there. So in big disaster, this plan, if you have a sound plan, at the 80% problem will be solved. Okay, I think I will come back. There are some other question in the process. We'll discuss it.
Would like to keep some time for your questions. So you can understand from that there are 8 ministries and almost 32 departments to be coordinated in such a disaster, which is a huge task ahead. Before going to Bithun, I will ask Deepu Bhai to talk about what is your learnings and how our volunteers, especially urban volunteers, scouts, and others are prepared for the next disaster, and what lessons you have learned.
Actually, Rana Plaza was an example of mismanagement, how it starts, how it ends. We identified many things in the Rana Plaza incident. I personally call it as an incident. The main reason for the Rana Plaza is actually the absence of governance, good governance. There was a lesson learned by the engineers. Which department? Department of Works. I was the only non-engineer person there. They identified each and everything. So number one, if you want to minimize this kind of thing, we need to do a good governance in all levels. Number two is, I will come to the volunteer business before that. There is no clear indication or line of chain of command, especially the incident command system. General is there, he knows they are the first responder, but in our country, this is a culture of things. When the hierarchy comes, they become the incident command. Those he is expert or not, that's a different issue. And that time it was also that was not a normal condition in the country. There was a lot of political disturbance and other things. Now we can come to the volunteers. Yes, that is our only strength. Because if any success in Rana Plaza rescue, that is done by the people who know nothing about the rescue things, but they were the first responder. Fire service, then we went there, the scouts, military, blah, blah things. I have just 20 volunteers. Are they ready to do the rescue? If they are not ready or if they are not trained for rescue operation, I should not engage them in the critical rescue system. This is why after 2 days, we withdraw the scouts from the collapse structure and they went to the dead body management with the local administration because a lot of other things with the Red Crescent volunteers. So this, actually we identify many things there. We should not deploy a lot of people there. Even one of my friends from the armed forces is there. I found a lieutenant colonel is regulating the Jawans because it's too much deployment. And it is maybe in our culture when we are doing anything, we make it a drama. I have nothing to do there, but I am there. Scouts, actually, we are training, before that, we are very small for rescue operation, very small in number, but thanks to the fire service department that they can reach immediate after the fire service department. In Rana Plaza, in Baipile, the same thing. There is a very big program by the government and Scout. We are making almost 3,000 volunteers. The Scouts, those who will be, they may be operational after this kind of thing. In the next month, we have a camp of 400 Scouts. Scouts, rovers, they're not the school boys, 18 plus. They know about it, and definitely our fire service friends will be there to train us. We are trying, but we are not telling that we can do everything. So let's know something from the.
আমি আপার কাছে আসবো আরও পরে তার আগে আই উড লাইক টু রিকোয়েস্ট মিথুন আপা because some question has been raised by Appa here about the use of the fund. The fund, the monies. We understand that you are coordinating with some other agencies who are still engaged in helping the people who are affected at that time. And there is a program, PAC is also there, ILO is coordinating, and now there is a database of all the survivors and their family. So this is a coordination job which we are learning also. So how you are managing that things, and also learning, everyday learning is happening because you are dealing with these people, with the survivors and also their families. So.
Thank you for the question, Naimbai. Before I answer your question, I'll just give you a background on what BRAC, since everybody spoke about immediate response, I would like to talk a bit about the immediate response provided by BRAC after the incident. First of all, we tried our best to identify the sectors which were areas in which other organizations weren't working. So first of all, we began with providing water and food support to the families, members who were waiting for their survivors to be rescued. And also psychosocial support was one of the unique things that we did at the spot and at hospitals where bodies were being carried. Coming to that, we spoke about how there was a lack of coordination, of course, because there was a lack of experience on our end in handling big-scale urban disasters. And so we must include ourselves in various humanitarian response clusters, such as like the ones coordinated by UN, for example, and join their need assessment. And before we go into operations, we must identify proper areas in which support is most needed. And it's good to know that, as Mr. Ali has mentioned, that we are focusing on providing tent and water and sanitation support at disaster-affected areas. We work with humanitarian response, so we know that this is, for like days, women and young girls especially, they suffer from lack of water and access to proper toilets. So it's good to know that mobile latrines are being thought about, because they don't drink water because they want to avoid going to the bathroom, and also as a consequence suffer from various health issues. And to answer Naimbai's question, BRAC has worked on 3 projects regarding Rana Plaza, with Rana Plaza survivors post-rehabilitative support program. So the latest one involves 450 survivors who are receiving medical support and livelihood support, as well as psychosocial support. And we learned that while we were working on 2 other projects previously, we learned that all other organizations are working on it too. So we wanted to make sure that we are working on areas that need to be addressed the most. And so we have formed a committee within the project advisory committee where all other organizations are tagged, and they advise us on what needs to be done and how. And also we get their support in order to execute the support properly for the benefits of the survivors. And it's a continuous learning project which will be going on for the next 5 years. So we hope to provide the best support possible. Yeah, that's.
আমি একটু আপার কাছে একটা প্রশ্ন রাখতে চাই। I would like to ask a question to our APA, because the package was something else, but she also add to that. একটা টাকা তাকে দেয়া হয়েছিল তারপরে আপনি নিজেও কিছু করেছেন এবং এই যে নিজে থেকে কিছু করা এবং অন্যভাবে করা, doing something in a different way to accommodate the need. We, the humanitarian organization, can't see the real need of the people. আমরা খালি চোখে বুঝতে পারি না যে মানুষের আসলে কি দরকার, আমাদের সব কিছু প্যাকেজের মধ্যে থাকে। I still remember one person who was from Manikganj, who used to come and sit in front of Enam Medical with a sack of someday 10, someday 12 watermelons. At that time it was very hot, you know, it was April, May. তো উনি যেটা করতেন, he used to cut down the watermelons and just sit there. You don't have to pay. The families are coming from far away. He was just offering that thing. He's a very small trader at Manikganj city. খুবই ছোট একজন ব্যবসায়ী মানিকগঞ্জ শহরের, তার নিজেরও ছোট দোকান নাই, সে কাপড় ফেরি করে বিক্রি করে। He used to go home to sell the clothes. ওইটা ওনার মাথায় আসছে যে এই যে হাজার হাজার মানুষ আসছে অন্যদের আত্মীয় স্বজনকে খুঁজতে, তাদের কোনো খাওয়ার জায়গা নেই, তাদের কোনো বিশ্রামের জায়গা নেই, আমি কি করতে পারি, হোয়াট আই ক্যান ডু উইথ মাই স্মল ক্যাপাসিটি। ওনার মাথায় এটাই আসছে। উনি 10টা 20টা তরমুজ কিনে নিয়ে এসে ওখানে ফালি করে মানুষকে দিতেন, পয়সা নিতেন না কারোর কাছ থেকে। সো এই যে মানুষের প্রয়োজনটা বুঝতে পারা এবং সেই হিসাবে কাজ করা, ইন্ডিভিজুয়াল মানুষের অনেক ফ্লেক্সিবিলিটি আছে, অর্গানাইজেশনের এই ফ্লেক্সিবিলিটিগুলো নাই। বাট উই আর হিউম্যান বিং, why we cannot have that flexibility, especially on humanitarian response. এই যদি ফ্লেক্সিবিলিটি না থাকে, আমি যদি একটা কঠিন আইনের মধ্যে নিজেকে ডুবিয়ে ফেলি, দেন উই উইল বি নো হোয়ার। সো সেই জন্য আমি আপনাকে একটু জিজ্ঞাসা করতে চাই যে যে জিনিসগুলো আপনার কাছে সবাই দিয়েছে, তার অনেকগুলো কি আপনার মনে হয়েছে যে এটাকে এইভাবে না দিলে, এইভাবে দিলে আমার জন্য ভালো হতো, এবং পরে আপনি নিজেও ব্যবস্থা করেছেন, নিজের মতন করে নিজের ব্যবসাটা তৈরি করেছেন, এগুলো নিয়ে যদি একটু আমাদের বলেন যে কিভাবে হলো এবং মানুষের কাছ থেকে যে সহযোগিতাটা পেয়েছেন সেটা আরও কিভাবে আসলে আরও ভালোভাবে আপনি কাজ করতে পারতেন। আপনি যেভাবে পারেন সংক্ষেপে আপনার আমাদের বললে খুব খুশি হব। থ্যাংক ইউ।
আমরা যে আহত অবস্থায় ছিলাম, একটা পরিশ্রমের মধ্যে আমাদের কাজ করা সম্ভব না। বিভিন্ন জায়গায় আমরা ক্ষতবিক্ষত হয়েছি, আঘাত পাইছি, কিন্তু একটা কর্মের মধ্যে, যে কঠিন কর্মের মধ্যে বা শক্ত কর্মের মধ্যে যে দাঁড়াবো, সেটা আমাদের এখন সম্ভব না। কেননা এখনও আমরা সম্পূর্ণ শরীর সুস্থভাবে আমরা চলাফেরা করতে পারি না। এখনও আমরা মাঝে মাঝে অসুস্থ হয়ে পড়ি, কিন্তু আমাকে কর্মস্থলে যা সেই কঠিন কাজটা করা আমাদের পক্ষে সম্ভব হয় না। অসুস্থ হয়ে পড়ি, বিভিন্ন জায়গায় চিকিৎসার অধীনে আমরা এখনও চলাফেরা করি। আমরা যে বিভিন্ন জায়গা থেকে বা হাসপাতালে থেকে বা অন্যান্য জায়গা থেকে যে আমরা অনুদানটা পাইছি, কম বেশি সবাই পাইছে, কেউ বলতে পারবো না যে আমরা কিছুই পাই নাই। কেননা আমরা যখন হাসপাতালে ছিলাম, কেউ আমাদের খালি হাতে দেখতে যায় নাই। ছোটোখাটো স্টুডেন্ট যারা, ছাত্ররাও অন্তত একটা করে জুস হাতে করে আমাদের দেখার জন্য গিয়েছিল। কেউ আমাদের জন্য খালি হাতে যায়নি। আমরা যে অনুদানটা পাইছি, অনেকেই নষ্ট করে ফেলাইছে, আর অনেকেই কাজে লাগাইছে। অনেকেই দেখা যায় টাকাটা ফুর্তি করে, আনন্দ ফুর্তি করে, এটা ওটা করেই নষ্ট করে ফেলাইছে, অনেকেই আবার কাজে লাগাইছে। আমরা যে অনুদানটা পাইছি, এখন মোটামুটি আগের থেকে অনেকটা পরিবর্তনের মধ্যে আমরা আসছি। কিছুদিন মোটামুটি ভালোই একটু সমস্যার মধ্যেই ছিল, বাচ্চাদের লেখাপড়ার সমস্যা, সাংসারিক সমস্যা। যেখানে আমরা 2 জন চাকরি করছিলাম, সেখানে একজনের উপর প্রেশার পড়ে যায়, তখন অনেক কষ্ট হয়ে যায় আমাদের। যখন আমরা অনুদানটা পাইছি, তখন আস্তে আস্তে কি আর পরিবর্তনের মধ্যে আসছি। আমরা যেমন টাকাটা ব্র্যাক থেকে কিছু মোটা অঙ্কের একটা পাইছি, ব্যবসার কাজেও আছে, মুদির দোকান ছোটোখাটো একটা আছে, আবার টেইলারও আছে। মোটামুটি এখন আমাদের আগের থেকে সংসার কি আর পরিবর্তনের মধ্যেই। মাঝখানে অনেক কঠিন অবস্থা হয়েছিল, বাচ্চাদের লেখাপড়া অফ রাখার মতো সিস্টেম হয়েছিল। এখন বাচ্চারাও মোটামুটি লেখাপড়ার মাধ্যমে আছে। আমরা যে অনুদানটা পাইছি এখন মোটামুটি এখন আগের থেকে কি আর পরিবর্তনের মধ্যেই কি আর আছে। এখন আমি বিশেষ করে বেশি অসুস্থ হই, মাঝে মাঝে আমার একে একে 2বার থেকে 3বার অপারেশন হয়, কিন্তু অপারেশন ওকে আসে না। ফার্স্ট আমি যখন এই নামে আমারে যখন নেয় তখন আমার লাস্টের দিকে কোনো জ্ঞান ছিল না। আমার সাইড দিয়ে আমি সুইং অপারেটর ছিলাম, 7তলা সুইং অপারেটর ছিলাম, কিন্তু আমার সাইড দিয়ে যখন একটা পিলারের মতো পড়ে যায় তখন কিছুক্ষণ আমি জ্ঞান, লাস্টের দিকে আমি জ্ঞান হারাইছিলাম। যখন উদ্ধারকারীরা আমারে এনামে নিছে, এনামে আমি কিছুক্ষণ পর আমার জ্ঞান ফিরছে। জ্ঞান ফেরার পর আমার ওখানে চিকিৎসার অধীনে আমি 22 দিন থাকি। থাকার পরে আমার রেফার করে পঙ্গু হাসপাতালে পাঠা দেয়। ওখানে 1 দিন পরে আমার অপারেশন হয়। অপারেশনের পর আমার ওখান থেকে আবার 26 দিন থাকার পর আবার সিআরপি হাসপাতালে আমার ওখানে 9 মাস থেরাপির মাধ্যমে থাকি। 9 মাস থেরাপির মাধ্যমে থাকার পর জার্মান থেকে এক গণস্বাস্থ্য হাসপাতালে জার্মান থেকে এক ডাক্তারের টিম আসে। ওখানে আমার অপারেশন করে আমি অনেক অসুস্থ হয়ে পড়ি। ওখানে অসুস্থ হওয়ার পরে আমার ব্রাক কেয়ার স্পেশালি আবার অপারেশনের সিদ্ধান্ত নেয়। কিন্তু আমার এমন অবস্থা ছিল, আমার যে বাম হাত ভেঙে গিয়েছিল, কিন্তু মাঝখানে হাতে আমার ফ্র্যাকচার ছিল। ফ্র্যাকচারের 2 হাড়ের মাথায় আমার হাতটা নষ্ট হয়ে যায়। প্লেট বসানোর পর আমার 3 বছরে প্রায় ওই রকম অবস্থা চিকিৎসার অধীনে যায়, কিন্তু আমার হাত ওকে হয় না। হাত দিয়ে শক্ত ধরনের কোনো কাজ করতে পারি না, বা চলাফেরা করতেও আমার সমস্যা হয়ে আসে। ওখানে কেয়ার স্পেশালি আমার ব্র্যাক থেকে অপারেশন করে মাজা থেকে হাড় কেটে আবার হাতে লাগায় দেয়। ওই অবস্থায় এখন আমার 1 বছর কেয়ার চলতেছে অপারেশন। এখন মাজা একটু সমস্যা, কিন্তু হাতে তেমন ভালো মন্দ এখন আছে কেয়ার, কিন্তু মাজাটা এখন বেশি সমস্যা। হাতের মধ্যে এখনও প্লেট বসানো আছে, এখন 2 বছর পর আবার প্লেট খুলব।
ও আপনার কথাটা একটু ট্রান্সলেট করে দিবে, তো সেই জন্য একটু থামালাম আপনাকে। আপনি আরও বলতে পারবেন। So to give you some time so that you can translate it, you can just summarize the things for the audience who don't understand Bangla.
Yeah, I would like to just provide a gist. First of all, she talked about how she's doing better, but it's difficult for her and other survivors to return to any labor's work. So she immediately after the accident, a lot of volunteers came forward and supported everybody who was affected, and even she gave examples about even the students who visited at least bought a pack of juice for them to have, so that they're very thankful about those support that everybody extended. And there were cash and other financial support. She says that some managed it really well and some others invested it properly. And she has had several operations after she suffered injury on her hand and waist due to a pillar that fell on her arms during the accident. She was first taken to NM Medical and then at National Institute of Traumatology and Orthopedic Rehabilitation, where she stayed for 26 days and had a surgery. And later on, she was in the Center for Rehabilitation of the Paralyzed for 9 months therapy, followed by which she came across a German volunteer doctor who operated on her hand at Ganoshasta Kendra, but followed by that, she became very ill. And then later, BRAC again assisted her for further surgery to recover from the surgery that she went through at Ganoshasta Kendra.
আমরা আরও অনেক কথা শুনতে পারি, কিন্তু আমাদের সময় আমাদের পারমিট করছে না। নেক্সট আরেকটা সেশন শুরু হবে সাদি ভাই আমাদের 10 মিনিট সময় নিয়ে নিয়েছে, সেই 10 মিনিট আমাদের নাই এখন আর হাতে। তো আমি আপাকে একটা শেষ প্রশ্ন করতে চাই, সেটা আপনার অনুমতি দিলে, যে উনি নিজে থেকেও কিছু কাজ করেছেন, যেমন একটা টাকা দিয়েছিল মুদির দোকান করতে, উনি পরে টেলারিংয়ে গিয়েছেন। এইটা কেমন করে গেলেন এবং এখন আপনি এটাকে কিভাবে ম্যানেজ করছেন? আপনি যে দোকানটা থেকে আপনি টেলারিং করেছেন, এটাতে আপনি কিভাবে ম্যানেজ করছেন? হাউ শি ইজ ম্যানেজিং হিজ নিউ ভেঞ্চার? The money has gone to her to start a small trading like a shop, but now she is doing a tailoring shop, and which is she is managing it. So my question is how she has came to a conclusion that she is doing these things and how she is now managing it. Then after finishing that things, I will ask 1 or 2 questions from you, and then we will wrap up. Thank you very much.
আমি যে দোকান দিয়েছি, দোকানের পাশাপাশি যে টেলারের কাজ করতেছি, আমাদের দোকানটা ছোটোখাটো দোকান। ওই দোকান দিয়ে আমাদের সংসার চালানো সম্ভব না। ছোট দোকান দিয়েই ফ্যামিলি লেখাপড়া করা, বাচ্চাদের নিজের চলা একটু সমস্যা হয়ে আসে। দোকানটা যদি বড় করতাম তাহলে সমস্যাটা এতখানি হতো না। এই জন্যে পাশে টেইলারের দোকান দিয়েই দুটো মিলে আমাদের কি আর সংসারটা কিছুটা আসে, কিন্তু তারপরেও সমস্যা হয়। তারপরেও আগের থেকেও কি আর অত যতদূর হাত বাড়াবার চাই, কিন্তু ততদূর হাত বাড়ানো আসে না। বাচ্চাদের ঢাকা শহরে লেখাপড়া খরচ অনেক বেশি হয়ে আসে, তারপরেও সমস্যা, কষ্ট হয় কি আর। দোকান যদি বড় থাকতো তাহলে মনে হয় সামনের দিকে আমরা, ব্র্যাক যদি আমাদের পাশে থাকে তাহলে মনে হয় আমরা সামনের দিকে আরও আগানোর চেষ্টা করা যেত।
বিথুন একটু সংক্ষেপে বলে দেবেন।
So when she first started the small store, after receiving the support from BRAC after the livelihood training and seed capital grant, she realized that it wasn't enough to keep supporting her two daughters' education. So since she had previous skills of tailoring, she began that on the side, and she says it has helped her a little bit, but she still faces a little bit of financial issues, but she believes that if BRAC is by her side, then she will improve even further.
Thank you.